If you want to listen to all of the episodes from this series right now, and ad-free, plus a whole host of extra fan club benefits, head to museumofpopculture.supportingcast.fm. Hello and welcome. I am Josh Widdicombe. For today, I'm the curator of a place of incredible artefacts and exhibitions, a place that stores the greatest thing on earth. This is my Museum of Pop Culture. As a self-confessed pop culture obsessive, I love the geniuses, the scam artists, and, dare I say it, the absolute madmen that have made the records, shows, and films that we love. In each series, I will tell you a story of unlikely triumph and usually an enjoyably crushing failure, featuring celebrated stars that in any other industry would probably be politely sacked. It's a show for people more interested in David Hasselhoff than David Lammy, Elizabeth Taylor than Queen Elizabeth I, which, let's be honest, is all of us. Joining me to discuss David Hasselhoff and his part in the fall of the Berlin Wall is comedian and friend Matthew Crosby.
Once you get your hands on Rubik's Cube, you may never be able to put it down.
Ronald Reagan appears to be heading toward a landslide electoral victory tonight.
America in the 1980s. Former actor Ronald Reagan is in the White House. Neoconservatism and rampant consumerism are sweeping the nation, and Wall Street is thriving.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
In cinemas, blockbusters like Star Wars and Indiana Jones dominate the box office.
In some major cities, fans waited in line all night to be the first to see Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Madonna and Michael Jackson rule the airwaves.
The Material Girl is on a roll. In just over a year, Madonna has had 5 top 10 hits.
And amongst all this, one man and his talking car dominate the small screen like a colossus. David Hasselhoff, a.k.a. the Hoff.
Kid, I really want to let kids know that illegal drugs are bad news.
Yes, David, it's true.
And Hasselhoff was about to become the most watched TV star in the world with Baywatch. And perhaps most unbelievably of all, as East and West Germany reunited and the Cold War ended. In the middle of this superstardom, the Hoff took time to sing his #1 hit on top of the Berlin Wall. Or did he? This is the incredible story, and indeed mystery, of David Hasselhoff and the fall of the Berlin Wall. Matthew Crosby.
Hello.
I asked you before we started whether you're a fan of David Hasselhoff, and we both kind of realised no one's a fan of David Hasselhoff.
No one's a fan and everyone's a fan.
Yeah, exactly. He just is.
He is. I've met him.
Have you?
I've worked with him.
What?
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about that when we get to the bit in his history. You might even mention it.
I don't think I will.
Is there not a bit in his autobiography about meeting me? That's really odd. You're saying that meant more to me than it did to him. He's not somewhere in Las Vegas saying, do you know who I met? Matthew Crosby.
Yeah. He's currently doing a 4-part reading of your life.
He's talking about adults at the moment.
So this is an unheralded moment for us. I don't think we've ever discussed someone we've met before.
That's true.
Which shows how well connected we are. Because we've discussed names.
We talked about
none of whom we've met.
We talked about Pete Waterman in the past, and I've worked in the same building as Pete Waterman, and I've seen him smoking a cigar on the piazza by Locale.
Okay.
But I've never worked with Pete Waterman, but I have worked with David Hasselhoff.
So tell me about Hasselhoff. So did you leave with good or bad feelings towards him?
I felt very warm towards him afterwards, yeah. I think he's a man who has had an absolutely insane life.
Yeah, which we will definitely come to.
We have to. And has come out of it reasonably okay. Like he's walking around knowing at all times that he's the Hoff.
Yeah.
Of course, because everybody he walks into a room and everybody has just seen David Hasselhoff for the first time.
Has he got a charisma about him?
A tremendous charisma.
Has he?
Yeah, he's got a real aura about him.
And what was the show?
So I was working on Don't Hassle the Hoff. I was writing...
Right, I'm not aware of it.
No.
And we've got quite a deep pack about his life here.
That doesn't come up.
That doesn't come up.
The sort of short-lived TV show he did.
So what was...
It was like a kind of... Curb Your Enthusiasm style look behind the curtain of the life of David Hasselhoff with some comedy actors.
Like set in the UK?
Set in the UK, yeah. He's come over to the UK to relaunch his career. It's that sort of thing. We'd be in a room all day. They'd give us scenes. We try and improvise them. We go away and write the best bits. One of the things I had to do was play a sort of wellness guru who was in the rehab centre that David had checked himself into.
Oh, okay.
So,
is David Hasselhoff a funny improviser?
He is a funny improviser, but he doesn't have to do that much because he's... And also he drew so much from his real life. He told me an amazing story about rehab.
Yeah.
So he checked himself into rehab under a fake name, even though he was...
David
and is
Hasselhoff.
one of the most famous people of all time.
I thought one of the things about rehab is that it's anonymous. Like, there's not many leaks coming from rehab, is there?
No. But I think I think it was first names only.
Even David.
Even David, yeah, it's enough. Or Hoff, as he likes to be called.
Which is his last name of his surname. Isn't even the first bit of his surname.
That's true, yeah. He checked himself in under a fake name. They go to the first, I guess, group session. Everyone's sitting around and they say, hello, I'm, all the names.
Yeah.
And he says, hello, I'm Michael. And as it comes out of his mouth, he realises he's checked himself in as the name of his character in Knight Rider. He just hadn't made the connections. I'll just pick a name. Oh, Michael. You know, it was either that or Mitch.
Wow. That is incredible.
So and he was very happy to sort of share these stories. And
was he starry or was he warm?
Oh, he was great. He was really chummy and matey and lovely, and he sat and had lunch with us and told us these stories, and he was great. He was amazing.
Did you ask questions because I'd be like, what was Pamela Anderson like? And is it like that kind of chat?
He doesn't want to talk about other people. Imagine if you met David Hasselhoff and asked him about somebody else.
Well, good news for him. This podcast's about him. He might not enjoy the East Germany bits. So you've got a lot of good feeling towards him.
He's been through a lot, but I think he's a good guy.
I think you're going to leave this with even more good feeling towards him.
That's all I want.
He is a fascinating figure. He's also incredibly created his own success. He is the living embodiment of the American dream.
He's very good at self-mythologizing, and he's very good at his own PR, I think. I remember hearing him interviewed on radio, and he was asked, what do your kids make of your career? And he said, well, my daughter, she loves my new single, Jump in My Car. And my son, he's a big fan of my work on America's Got Talent, which has got a new series. And I was like, you just know how to do this, mate. You just know how to do it. He's just there for you.
Yeah. There's an argument, when you think about him, that he is the living embodiment of the opposite of East Germany.
He's human capitalism.
He's human capitalism. And they are inhumane communism. Faceless communism. So, do you want to just describe what you know about David Hasselhoff briefly?
David Hasselhoff is a multi-talented performer. He's an actor. He is a musician. He has been on some of the biggest shows of all time, Knight Rider, Baywatch. Everybody automatically thinks of being at the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, so that's what we're really here to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
Is David Hasselhoff being at the fall of the Berlin Wall. But this kind of is the story. I'd like to say it's the story of the strangest man in the strangest country of the 20th century.
Let's talk about it. Great.
You might enjoy this. One is a terrible regime that ruined thousands of lives.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Listen, if people haven't worked out the punchline, turn off now. This is not for you.
I'll do the punchline at the end of episode 4.
You've got to throw forwards.
David Hasselhoff is much more interesting than I thought he was going to be. East Germany is, I'd say, the most fascinating subject that's ever existed.
Yeah, of course.
And if you're here for a kind of proper history of East Germany, I would say those blokes, Dominic Sandbrook and Tom Holland, are probably your go-to guys. But we are going to touch on East Germany. I'm obsessed with East Germany. I'm not as obsessed with David Hasselhoff, but I am getting there.
Okay.
I'd like to start with a couple of quotes from David Hasselhoff to sum up the man. So this is him talking about Knight Rider, which was his first big TV show. Well, not his first, but the thing that made him super famous.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Knight Rider slogan was, "One man can make a difference. I truly believe that I got the role of Michael Knight for a reason. I was given a power that could be used in a positive way, far greater than anyone could imagine, to help sick and terminally ill people.
What?
Mainly children who watched the Knight Rider programme and believed in its hero.
Can we go back to the slogan for Knight Rider? One man can make a difference. It's about a talking car.
It's about a talking car, yeah.
You know, that would be like having the slogan for E.T., one boy can ride a bike.
Yeah.
You know, you're really burying the lead here of the most exciting thing.
Do you think the slogan should have been "It's about a talking car"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if someone said to you, what's Knight Rider about? Oh, it's about a man making a difference. Yeah. No, thanks. Oh, it's about a talking car. Sign me up.
Also, this is his quote on the Berlin Wall. A 45-year-old man cried. He said, "You really had something to do with bringing down the wall." I said, "No, I didn't. I was just singing a song about freedom. And I went behind the wall and met some girls." He said, "No, it was a song of hope." I suppose it's difficult for us to judge a man who's lived in East Germany.
Yeah.
But I'd say there's a self-belief to David Hasselhoff that we'll find.
There's also, that tells you something about celebrity. We've all been in front of celebrities and said something way more effusive than we needed to, just because you're in front of someone.
Because you panicked.
Yeah, because you're panicking. Yeah.
The amount of celebrities I've told that I'm a huge fan of their work, and I'm just not.
I'm happy to name them. They're fellow podcasters, but I met Rosie Ramsey and told her she was making history. Yes, I had a few drinks. I don't know if either of us believed it, even at the time.
Well, let me give you a fact that David Hasselhoff made history.
Yeah.
He is in the Guinness Book of World Records because he's the most watched man in the history of television.
Wow.
So this is the level we're dealing with. Don't just think we're dealing with some kind of idiot. This is a man who brought down the Berlin Wall, is the most watched man on TV, and he saves the lives of terminally ill children by playing around with a talking car.
He's one man who can make a difference.
He's one man who can make a difference. Are you aware of the Mandela effect?
Yes, of course. So the Mandela effect is when something that didn't happen, enough people believe it did.
Yeah,
You know?
And it's based on a lot of people thought Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 80s.
Yeah.
And there's some people that believe that that is proof of parallel worlds because these things have happened. We're not going into that.
No.
Do you believe that?
No, I don't. I think it's loads of people just made a mistake. Just memory's a bit fallible, isn't it?
Do you know any other Mandela effects?
Yeah, there's Shazam is the big one, which is people think that Sinbad made a movie where he played a genie called Shazam.
Right.
And everybody believes it existed and it doesn't exist.
There's another one which is Luke, I am your father, which was never said.
Yes.
But that's more of a mishearing.
Or it would have been said in like some sort of comedy sketch or something, you know. It's
I
like
think it's
Scotty,
like,
Beam Me Up Scotty or whatever.
Beam Me Up Scotty or It's Elementary, my dear Watson.
Yes.
He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
The other one is a lot of people think they watched on the news the first plane hit the towers of 9/11, which obviously...
Why would they report on,
Why would they be reporting?
We'll just go to the Twin Towers as we always do at 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, yep. Oh, hang on, let's cool. Lucky we had a camera rolling.
But there is one which I believed and which me and Michael believed before I did. Michael still believes, presumably, which is that David Hasselhoff sung above the Berlin Wall as it fell.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Did you?
I thought he was. I thought he was stood on a sort of raised platform next to it, singing next to the Berlin Wall, singing his
as it fell.
Yeah, and then there were people whacking it with sledgehammers. Now I say it out loud, it seems
absolutely wild.
I'm sure Sinbad could have made a movie in the 80s where he played a genie. This feels madder.
Well, let's find out.
Let's find out.
Let's go back to Baltimore in Maryland. Dolores and Joseph Hasselhoff. Well, let's go back. They had sex in 1951. In 1952, David Hasselhoff's born.
Good for them.
Good for them. That wasn't on my notes, but I've just...
You just extrapolated that from...
Yeah, I haven't got any citation for that.
By the way, we're not going to catalogue every time anyone has sex, are we? Because there's going to be a lot with Hasselhoff.
There is a discussion of him having sex at one point.
Great.
Him and three sisters, David Hasselhoff, they move around a lot because his dad's a salesman and a kind of business executive. Florida, Georgia, Chicago, Atlanta. There's a great quote from David Hasselhoff about living in Atlanta growing up. What do you think he learned from Atlanta?
I don't know. Are there lots of casinos in Atlanta? Is that
growing up in Atlanta, I discovered the power of dreams from Martin Luther King.
His dream was not about a talking car, David.
Come on, David.
We've all had dreams like that, but
But he's quite a weird kid at school. I kind of feel for him because I think he's a bit of an oddball. He's kind of one of the high achievers. So he's in the speech team, he's president of the choir, captain of the volleyball team, he's Peter Pan in the play, and he dreams from the off. His dream is to do Broadway. That's what he wants to do.
Wow, okay.
So he's desperate to do Broadway. And he says he was a funny, outgoing kid, but he was kind of shy, sensitive, painfully embarrassed by his skinny legs.
Really?
Yeah. At one point, someone makes a joke about his legs, and then he doesn't wear shorts for 6 years.
Which is mad because obviously he made his name after Knight Rider in a pair of shorts and running down a beach. Gorgeous pins.
Exactly. Revenge is a dish best served cold, really.
He's not skipping leg day after that, is he?
Exactly. So 6 years he doesn't wear shorts because someone's had to go at his legs. He's got a pet alligator.
He played Peter Pan as well. A role famously, you wear tights for that.
And one day he mistakenly lets his alligator escape into the house, creating panic among his sisters. He says, there was more hysterics when I threw the beast into Joyce's bath and she chased me out of the house screaming, are you crazy? I don't know if you've got a pet alligator where you're keeping it anyway.
Isn't it one of those things that you can only have? It's a bit like sort of Tiger King thing. Baby tigers are fine, and then...
I don't think baby alligators are fine.
No, I don't think so either. If it's small enough to get in a bathtub, you're probably okay. I don't know. I wouldn't like to share a bathtub with a small alligator.
He once accidentally set his house on fire as well.
Okay. He appreciates the value of drama.
He does. The reason he set the house on fire, it wasn't intentional. He was trying to set the lawn on fire.
Okay. I don't think that's enough of an excuse.
Because he wanted the fire brigade to come because he wanted to see a fire engine. And the lawn didn't set on fire, then he turned around and the house was on fire.
Go to the fire station yourself. Just wait outside, David.
Yeah, I know. So he's an odd kid with dreams of Broadway, dreams of obviously dreams from Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
There's quite a weird bit about his views on sex as a child. So he says, the sex thing was still bothering me. In church, I became aroused every time I kneeled down prior to taking communion.
Really?
So you're from a Catholic family,
yeah,
aren't
body
you?
of Christ, they say.
So what?
Just the word body is getting him hot under the collar.
It was incredibly embarrassing. I wore long blue pants, shirt and tie, and I tried to arrange my clothing so no one noticed. Luckily, this only lasted a short time, but I missed a lot of communions.
Getting aroused at... I mean, there is...
I suppose there's a lot of energy going on.
There's a lot of energy, a little fervour.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, religious fervour and sexual fervour, I'm sure in some people's cases, there's only a fine line between them. Well, in David's case, no line at all. No. Just some thin fabric on his blue trousers.
His blue trousers that are covering his stiffy and his embarrassing legs.
Everything from the waist down was a source of great shame to Hasselhoff.
So he auditions to go to drama school. Juilliard, which is like quite a prestigious place in New York. He doesn't get in. I could ask you to guess why he doesn't get in, but I don't think you'd get it.
If it's nothing to do with his leg, I've got no idea.
No, it's because he's taken to a gay bar the night before and it puts him off his game, basically.
Okay, let's not interrogate that too much, shall we?
I'll read it. I travelled to Manhattan and stayed with an actor friend who was pursuing his dreams on Broadway. On my first night, he informed me that he was gay and took me to a gay bar, the Pickle Barrel, to meet his buddies.
Great name.
It's a great name, isn't it?
I'd go to the Pickle Barrel, of course I would.
The experience of being in New York and knowing that my future was hanging in the balance overwhelmed me, and so did the gay bar. The following day, I suffered an attack of nerves and confusion, was unable to do myself justice. I think I was still freaked out by my visit to the Pickle Barrel.
He landed in a barrel of pickles and came out sucking his thumb.
He did. So he doesn't get the audition because he's gone to the Pickle Barrel the night before.
I think there was probably more going on.
Yeah.
He was probably just a bit hungover.
I don't know, yeah.
Don't blame the Pickle Barrel, they've done nothing wrong.
They accept 17 students, and he's the 18th, he's the standby, but no one drops out.
Oh, it's a shame.
Two of the students they accept are Christopher Reeve and Robin Williams in this intake, who live together and become best friends.
What a year.
What a year. But Hasselhoff is the first sub and he doesn't get in. So, meanwhile in Germany, I think it's quite a nice kind of interlocking narrative.
Sure.
So Hasselhoff's born in 52, 7 years after the end of the Second World War. How much do you know about the formation of East Germany?
Not a tremendous amount. I'm here to learn.
So basically, at the end of the Second World War, there's four main countries, the Allies, that they make a decision, understandably, I'd say. They can't hand back power to the German people because the Nazi regime is obviously...
There needs to be a few sanctions. They can't be trusted.
So what they do is they split... They take their scissors away from them.
Look, fool us twice, shame on us.
3 times. So they split Germany up, right? And 3 of the countries, France, Britain and the USA, are obviously capitalist, and then the Soviet Union is communist. So there's 3/4 of it that becomes West Germany, and 1/4 becomes East Germany. That's the Soviet one.
Right, okay, yes.
So there's a lot of stuff about, like, I mean, I won't go too deep into it, but like Stalin wasn't actually that fussed about East Germany, but he kind of got talked into it. Oh, we should do this. He had bigger fish to fry.
Absolutely.
But it becomes a kind of satellite of the Soviet state. And then Berlin, a lot of people, what they don't realise is you imagine that Berlin is on the border.
Is it carved down the middle? Is it more
So
like
Germany
that?
is carved west and east.
Yeah.
But Berlin, which is the capital of Germany, is deep in the East Germany.
Right, okay.
And
yeah,
so
I sort of thought it
Berlin
was
is
on the border, yeah.
separately carved. So they don't get to keep East Berlin, even though it's in the East. So West Berlin is a small island of West Germany in the middle of East Germany.
Right, okay, yeah. I'm picturing
Interesting,
that,
isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't realise that.
Because most people don't realise that. And so it's split up into the Allied zone and the Soviet zone and capitalist and communist. And basically East Germany is formed in 1949, 2 years before David Hasselhoff's parents have sex.
Of course, yeah. 3 before he's born.
3 before he's born. West Berlin's trapped inside. But there isn't much border, right? And people can do stuff like they can live in East Berlin and work in West Berlin and drive into West Berlin and work and stuff.
Okay.
And if you want to get to West Berlin, there's trains from West Germany and stuff. So it kind of, that's your gateway to the West.
And that's fine. There's this sort of freedom of travel, freedom of movement. Everyone's able to... Yeah.
Ish, if you've got a visa or if you've got a reason to go.
Okay.
But by 1961, I'm not here to say that, you know, communism's bad, but by 1961, 1/6 of the population of East Germany have left and gone west.
Right, okay.
So that's 4 million people have moved to West Germany from East Germany. So that would be about 20 million people that they've got. And so on the 13th of August, 1961, no announcement. They just build the Berlin Wall.
In one day?
Well, they just start putting it up. It starts with fences and barbed wire.
Oh, my God.
And then
Do they not at any point think...
So people are literally trapped.
Do they not think maybe it's us?
Well, there is that element.
If you're having a party and people keep leaving the party, you
don't build
think,
a wall.
Let's just lock the doors. You think maybe we need to change the music and bring out better snacks.
Well, they say that the Berlin Wall is to stop the kind of...
Oh, the sort of pervasive force coming in.
Yeah, the pervasive force.
We're saving you from outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, it's like Signs or The Village or whichever one of those M. Night Shyamalan.
It's like where there was a comedy management company that's got quite extreme contracts. And I remember them saying to me when they approached me, this is as much to protect you as it is to protect us. And I thought, I don't think it is.
They said as they were locking him in a small cage.
How is this protecting me?
It's a big, scary world out there.
Yeah. So it's built with no prior warning, right? And it's literally, some of the houses are on the Berlin Wall, so they're back onto the Berlin Wall, and people in the West are holding out blankets and people jumping out the windows, the back windows, and then the back windows get bricked up, and they start with the lower one, so people are jumping out of higher and higher windows. It's this kind of mad start to it.
Really scary, isn't it?
Yeah. So lots of people are trying to escape when the wall's up. Would you like a quick run through some of the best escapes?
Always, yes.
Yeah. So it's there for 28 years. 100,000 people try and get out. 5,000 to 10,000 people manage it.
Okay.
I mean,
not
it's
great
still a lot
odds.
actually, a very low fatality rate for people caught. Only 171 people die in their attempts. I mean, that's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
RIP to those people,
of,
but yeah, that's...
Out of 100,000.
That's not terrible, yeah.
600 border guards managed to leave over time as well. It's an absolute sweet job. So there's a train heist in 1961. Harry Deerting, this guy, he takes over a train. There's 32 people on board, what they call the last train to freedom, and they ride it, they smash through.
Wow.
However, there's 7 passengers and the conductor that would just happen to be on the train. And they just walk back into East Germany.
I quite like it in there, actually. I'm going back.
How dare you bring me to the West?
Not a capitalist.
1969, there's a Trojan cow. You're aware of the Trojan horse?
Of course I am, yeah, the Trojan horse. So a Trojan cow...
It's a life-size model of a bull.
That they're trying to convince is a real bull?
No,
or just that
they're
like,
saying
it's just
that
going outside a butcher shop or something.
No, it's it's a display item.
Yeah.
They put it in the back of a vehicle and it's hollowed out and people get inside it.
How many people are you fitting inside a bull?
One.
Oh, it's just one person. Okay, fine.
Yeah, one at
in
a
which
time.
case,
One at
that's
a time,
fine.
yeah.
So the ball keeps coming back and forth. You're like, why? Yeah, they didn't like it. We had to make a few adjustments to the tail anyway. Yeah, they wanted black and white spots. This was a brown cow, so we have to, just little things.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
Horst Klein. So he's a trapeze artist blackballed by the East German authorities because he's anti-communist. So he's banned from doing trapeze in East Germany.
So he's got nothing to do.
He gets his prescribed employment. Everyone's given a job.
Yeah.
So there's 100% employment there. But he obviously, there's only one way out for him. He scales an electricity pole and climbs hand over hand along a cable spanning the Berlin Wall. And then he's so tired when he reaches West Berlin, he falls off and breaks both his arms. But he does make it.
I tell you what, as a trapeze artist, that's the worst injury you can get.
Yeah, that really is the money shot, is it?
If you show up in Traction to your first interview and say, "Yeah, I'm actually a brilliant trapeze artist," they're like, "We're not employing you. There's no way with your arms stuck out like that." No, honestly, as soon as I'm healed, I'm going to be all right. It's like, no.
And actually, there's no employment here for you, so you've left a job in East Berlin. There's a zip line. That's a bit of fun. Family that go down a zip line.
That was a mistake, building a zip line.
Well,
that wasn't the authorities themselves who built it.
You joke about that. The Soviet officers let it go ahead because they presume it's East Germany smuggling agents into the West.
Right. It's a bit like if you show up in high vis, you can pretty much do anything you like.
Exactly, yeah.
They were just like, well, assume someone's giving you the authority to build this.
One of my favourites is there's a hot air balloon. What a way to do it.
Like you're leaving us.
Yeah, so it took 18 months to sew together 1,000 square metres of cloth, and they listened to the weather reports in the West German radio. They made 2 failed attempts before 2 families, including 4 children, land in Bavaria.
Oh, congratulations. And what a gloriously peaceful way to escape.
I know.
A red letter day of escaping.
Yeah. I've finished these with Peter Dobler, who decides to swim across.
Swim across a wall?
A huge error. So he does the Baltic Sea. He practices swimming. He studies the stars, memorises sea maps, and he puts together a bundle of supplies, which is painkillers, chocolate, tape, and a compass. He brings appetite suppressants, which basically have a similar effect to ecstasy.
Right,
so
he loves it.
Pilled up and swims 30 miles to West.
Whoa!
Yeah, off his face on ecstasy. And he makes it. Spots a boat and they take him to West Germany. So people do make it out. That's basically where East and West Germany is, while David Hasselhoff is really representing the decadence of the West by going to drama school. He goes to a drama school in Detroit called the Academy of Dramatic Arts in Pontiac, Detroit, Michigan. Works part-time at a gas station at the time, and then he's robbed at gunpoint.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we wouldn't get that in East Germany. And he goes back to Chicago because he couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And then he auditions for the California Institute of Arts, which was founded by Walt Disney. Pee Wee Herman went there.
Paul Rubens, love him, yeah.
Michael Richards, who played Seinfeld.
Of course. Well, he didn't play Seinfeld.
No, sorry.
He played Kramer in Seinfeld.
Yeah. I can't remember who played Seinfeld.
No. That's Lost to Time. The name of the actor who played Seinfeld.
And Frank Darabont, who directed Shawshank.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah. It's quite like a weird kind of out there college. And once the faculty show up naked for a meeting with the owners, because they say, we want freedom to be who we are and teach who we want, or what we want.
Goddamn hippies.
I know.
This is the era of hair and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, so when would this have been? If David Hasselhoff was born in 1953, this would have been the beginning of the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hippy-dippy.
Yeah.
Long hairs with their clothes off.
Yeah.
You're the faculty. You want a sports jacket with elbow patches. Not your ding-dong hanging out, thank you very much.
Hasselhoff wouldn't have felt very comfortable with the nakedness.
No, absolutely.
A pair of trousers, thank you very much.
He's the only one wearing parachute pants.
So after 2 years, he leaves college and he drives to Santa Monica to live with friends in a commune on the beachfront.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is grey,
And he gets an agent. So he says of his agent, Jack was a gentleman of the old school. Drove me around in his Eldorado to meet all the casting directors. To broaden my cultural education, he took me to plays and the ballet and art galleries. He went to Spain on vacation, and I didn't hear from him again.
That's what you want from an agent. I'm off on holiday, I'll never see you again.
After 6 months, I called his office. Has Jack died or something? Yes, He had a stroke and died.
Oh, no.
And he's so unimportant that he's died 6 months ago and no one's told David Hasselhoff, his agent, is dead.
I think after a fortnight, I'd get a bit twitchy.
Yeah.
Not getting a phone call for 6 months.
It's different in acting, though, isn't it? I think acting agents have loads and loads of people.
Yeah, that's probably true. But you'd hope they're sending you to at least 3 or 4 gigs a year.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'd hope that I'd realised my agent had died. He's working, then basically he has to get a job, gets a job in the country club. This all goes wrong. Christmas Eve's, he mixes up a drink order and a customer gets shitty with him. And he says, so I jumped on a table, stripped down to my shorts, he's got his confidence back, and then made a dramatic exit saying, Merry Christmas to you all and good night. I got a round of applause from the other members. He is dramatic in every way.
What a way to quit your job. I'm always suspicious. Anytime an anecdote ends with, and everybody applauded, you think, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I believe you got up on a table. I believe you screamed at someone because you were embarrassed.
Yeah.
I don't believe that everybody else didn't know Captain My Captain and also got on the tables with you.
Well, he basically, at this point, he's struggling to find acting work.
Okay.
Do you know what's preventing him finding acting work?
His legs again, isn't it?
Well, almost. His legs are... Well, he's 6'4" by this point.
Oh, wow.
So,
I didn't sort of realise he was that huge.
No.
I mean, despite having seen him in the flesh...
Yeah, you've met him.
He doesn't come... I mean, he comes across as a charismatic man, but maybe that's part of it.
Did you see his legs?
He had them with him, yeah. He wasn't wearing a little pair of shorts, but he definitely had legs.
To deal with this, because obviously being that tall is difficult to cast someone because it affects the rest of the cast.
Yeah, of course. That's why lots of leading men are short, isn't it? There's like a lot of leading men are very small because it doesn't...
You're not pitching yourself to an agent now, Crosby.
All I'm saying is Tom Cruise isn't going to be around forever.
I reckon he could be.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to live forever.
Yeah, he'd outlive me.
He starts sending out headshots. He gets a moustache.
Yeah, you've got a moustache.
And he lies and says that he's Errol Flynn's nephew. And it works. He gets an agent. Joyce Selznick. She's quite a big deal. She's the niece of the David Selznick.
David O. Selznick.
David O. Selznick, who produced Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
She's discovered in the 40s, New York truck driver Bernie Schwartz. Do you know who that was? Tony Curtis.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, while working as a talent scout, she signs Nina Simone. So she's got something for everyone.
She knows what she likes. Yeah, that's great.
His first meeting with her is sublime.
My worry about that is if you pick someone who's got sort of like old showbiz history.
Tony Curtis and Nina Simone.
No, but she, David Selznick, she's going to go, oh, well, I know Errol Flynn.
Oh, what?
And she might have been to parties. She might have been to soirees with Errol Flynn.
Well, she doesn't bite on that.
She doesn't pick up on that.
She signs him.
Great.
But in quite weird circumstances. So he goes to meet her at Paramount Studios. She doesn't show up for 4 hours.
Power move.
So he goes. He comes back the next day. And she's 3 hours late this time.
Okay, she's warming to him.
Yes. So when she turns up, her dog Seamus bites David's leg.
Oh no, more leg disasters, leg-based catastrophes.
Presumes it's a bone. There was another bone down there he didn't want to bite.
Only on a Sunday.
So he's bleeding and she's flicking through his headshots. She says, can you act? Yes, ma'am. And then she says, bullshit. If you're this good looking and you could act, you'd be working. And he says, look, your dog just bit me in the leg. I didn't wait 4 hours yesterday and 3 hours today to be insulted. And she replies, sit down and shut up. You've got it, kid. So I'll take you on as a client. I'm going to make you a star. I'm a casting director, but I'm also a manager and I only manage stars.
I mean, she's right. She's absolutely right.
Do you think that happened?
He was going to be a star. I got a new agent a few years ago and I had to go around and meet with other agents, right? If any of them had an argument with me, I would have gone, well, I just don't want to work with this person.
Yeah.
Because I guess the idea is if she's willing to scream at me, you know, she's going to scream at the studio bosses who are going to employ me.
Dog's going to bite the head of MGM.
Exactly. You know, you want an agent who, if she's not a pit bull herself, at least has a pit bull with her.
Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So he gets this is his first big acting break, and that is in a show called The Young and the Restless.
Is that a soap opera?
It's a daytime soap opera. And he plays Dr. William Snapper Foster. And he's still going to this day, The Young and the Restless.
He's not in it, though. Snapper's no longer...
Well, Snapper was originally played by someone else as well. It's a classic, daytime soap recasting situation where no one acknowledges it's a new actor.
It'd be weird if they did acknowledge it's a new actor. Hello, Cheryl, are you a new actor?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So he replaces the number one star on the show, William Gray Espy, who's played Snapper Foster 73 to 75. When he starts, David receives a lot of fan letters saying how much they love William and how much they hate David.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What a poison chalice. So presumably William's just off to do bigger things, right? He's breaking out.
Presumably, yeah.
He's going to try and make it in movies or whatever.
Yeah.
Why would you not just kill off the character and bring in a different doctor? Why make it the same doctor?
Well, maybe,
they thought the brand was strong enough.
Well, when I take you through what happens to William Snapper Foster, you'll realise there was so much mileage left in him.
Right, okay.
He gets stage fright because of this. Like, he gets in his head all the abuse.
Right, yeah. And he'd been to a gay bar the night before, hadn't he?
Yeah, he had been. Yeah, exactly. That was a big mistake. So he's solved because of he gets some advice from a female friend who's not named in his autobiography, I think for good reason. He says, this girl had been very fat, but lost a huge amount of weight and become a successful model. I asked her how she'd done it. I read this book, she says, You Program Yourself. The book was called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy, and it changed my life. And it's basically quite simple stuff. Instead of telling yourself you're nervous, you insist, I'm very calm and I'm very successful.
It's like NLP.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so as they count in, he's got things he goes through in his head. So if you'd like to count me in from 5, this is how he'd start each take in his head.
Okay. 5.
You're here for a reason.
4.
Take it easy.
3.
Believe in yourself.
2.
You can do this.
1.
Let's go. Have fun.
It's not bad. I feel genuinely a bit more pepped up.
We should have done that.
We should have done it at the start of this episode. Do you do anything like that before you go on stage?
I genuinely think, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I wish I was dead.
Yeah, because I've been on tour with you, so I know that to be true. I can vouch for that.
Why am I doing this? What am I trying to prove?
Next tour show you do, try the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method and see if it makes a difference. Go on, you should try it.
Okay, well, they're going all right with the negativity.
Yeah, that's true.
I think self-doubt is useful.
If you came out and were suddenly all tits and teeth and you know, if you sang The Sun Has Got His Hat On at the start of the show, it would be a very different Josh Widdicombe experience.
Exactly. So he does quite well as Dr. Snapper. It's like a pastiche of a daytime soap opera in a way. He says there's a saying on The Young and the Restless, which is, when the ratings are low, all the clothes go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's quite a shagger.
It was racy, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just quickly, well, it's not going to be quickly because it's quite a lot. I'm just going to take you through Dr. Snapper's story as David Hasselhoff's there. There's a lot of names here, but it's worth it. His mother, Liz, encourages Snapper to pursue Chris Brooks, who is the daughter of the publisher of the newspaper, the General City Chronicle.
Okay.
But he prefers his freedom and he regularly sleeps with a woman called Sally Maguire.
Why not?
Snapper and Chris eventually become an item and move in with each other. Chris's father learns that Snapper is seeing Sally and tells Chris. Chris moves out of Snapper's house. George Curtis then rapes her. Months later, Chris is willing to make love to Snapper, but memories of the rape still haunt her. Snapper's understanding of supportive, but he's still shagging Sally on the side.
Oh my God, this is harrowing.
Well, yes. Sally's also fallen in love with Snapper by this point, so she stops using birth control pills and gets pregnant. Snapper breaks up with Sally and proposes to Chris, who accepts. Sally's devastated and tells her boss, Pierre Rouland, that she's pregnant. Since he's in love with her, he offers to marry her and give the baby his name.
Oh, good for him.
Sally accepts his proposal. They elope a few days before Snapper's wedding. Chris and Snapper work through their sexual problems and happily live in a small apartment. But when Chris becomes pregnant, Snapper fears the additional responsibility may set his medical career back. Sally eventually falls in love with Pierre, but he is then tragically killed by a robber. She wants to leave town, but Snapper urges her to stay until the baby's born. She gives birth to the baby, who she calls Pierre after the dead person that it wasn't the baby of, but they were bringing up as his.
Sure.
Chris has a miscarriage after learning Snapper was the boy's father.
Oh, no.
Her and Snapper separate. This is partly due to the fact that Snapper sold their furniture to help people in the ghetto.
Well, it's because he'd lived in Atlanta, hadn't he?
Exactly. And then Snapper falls for Dr. Casey Reed, but their relationship doesn't last because Casey has a fear of sex due to being abused as a child. Chris and Snapper reconcile. Snapper convinces his mother, Liz, to have his father, William, declared legally dead. But then William sends a letter back to his family. Liz invites William to move back into the house. William realises that he still has feelings for Liz, but he puts her needs above his own and encourages Liz to continue her plans to marry someone called Sam Power. But Liz breaks off the engagement to Sam because she's still a married woman because her husband's come back from the dead. William and Liz remarry, and Snapper and his father reconcile, but William's cancer progresses quickly and the doctors doubt he will live out the year. William's hospitalised, put on life support. He pleads many times with Liz to pull the plug. Liz agrees to obey his wishes, but she's so traumatised by doing so, she suffers a stroke and forgets that she did it. Snapper's accused of killing his father. Luckily, Snapper's brother Greg is a lawyer who gets Snapper cleared of the murder charges, and Liz is never charged. Snapper and Chris have a baby girl. Soon after, Sally returns with Chucky, Snapper's son, who's seriously ill and needs a kidney operation. Sally urges Snapper to tell Chucky that he's his father, but Snapper decides against it. But he eventually donates his kidney to Chucky.
Wow, what a life.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And he crammed that into just a few short years on the show.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what David Hasselhoff's up to in The Young and the Restless.
You know what? I can't imagine a show I'd like to watch less than that. I think it's given me an idea for my own soap opera. A load of nice people having a lovely time.
It does sound fucking awful.
It sounds harrowing and bleak and horrible. And why would you... You've probably got a lot of... Not to that level, but you've got enough stuff going on in your own life.
Although it's a daytime soap opera, so you haven't got that much stuff going on in your life.
That's true. It's very true.
But when Homes Under the Hammer's on, it's a bit more of a laugh, isn't it?
Give me British daytime TV any day of the week. Antiques Road Trip, yes, please.
So, it is a mad show, The Young and the Restless.
Yeah, I need to lie down after just hearing all of that.
So he uses this, though. It is a platform for David Hasselhoff. It's a popular show.
I bet it got phenomenal ratings, and especially because that's a time when people actually watch telly.
Yeah, and so he wants to become a singer, because obviously his prime aim is Broadway still at this point.
Yes.
He actually gets to go on the Merv Griffin show, which I don't know. Do you know what
Big
is
one,
that?
yeah.
Is that like a kind of Letterman-style show?
Yeah, it is like a Letterman show, but it's sort of one of the ones... Letterman was quite sort of out there and weird. I think Letterman was kind of sort of skewering what Merv Griffin was doing, yeah.
So David goes on there and he sings. This is his first public performance of singing. And he sings the theme tune of The Young and the Restless.
Amazing. It's a bit like when Anita Dobson did the theme tune for EastEnders.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Why
great.
not?
Why wouldn't you?
Are you ready for your singing debut on our show?
No.
Come on, they'll love it.
I'll wing it. Gone, bright shiny days, gone in a young and restless haze.
To this day, Merv says to him, I remember you on that show. You look like a tall glass of milk with big hair. I've got no idea what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
No idea what that means.
Dressed in white.
But David's not loving Young and the Restless. He gets quite lazy. Mm-hmm. And he basically starts drinking quite heavily.
Now, this is a problem for David throughout his life, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we're not really going to touch on it that much because it doesn't intersect as much, actually, with the main bit of his story as you'd think it would.
Oh, okay.
I found it impossible to go home and learn my lines every night, he said. Instead, I drank and I partied and I chased girls, came home at 3 a.m, and then he basically decides, I'll learn my lines in the morning. I got so good at it that I could stay out to 3 a.m, go to bed, get up at 6 with 3 hours sleep, drive to the studio, learn my lines, get through the first rehearsal, coffeeed up, then sleep between 7 and 9 to take the edge off.
It's a real alcoholic phrase now. I got so good at it.
I know.
You know, when you're going if you're really lying to yourself there, they're like, actually, I'm doing this better than if I'd gone to bed at 9 p.m.
Also, I don't want to pick at his timings, but he's fitting a lot. He goes to bed at 3 a.m, sleeps for 3 hours, gets up at 6. He's going back to bed at 7 a.m. He's fitting a lot in this 1 hour because he's driving to the studio, learning his lines, rehearsing, coffeeed up, all in the space of an hour.
I don't think he's doing it really well.
No.
Talk to his co-stars. Let's find out what his co-stars say.
And then he said, I woke up, I'd be ready to work, I'd be perfect, or so I thought. And then he solves the problem of learning his lines by taking cue cards onto set.
No, you can't be doing that.
He says, we called it Beat the Light. When the light is on someone else, he gets cue cards out.
The thing is, though, you are a doctor.
You could have a clipboard.
You could have a clipboard.
Most scenes, when you're in the hospital, certainly, you can have a clipboard
So
there.
basically, he'd be doing a conversation. When the other person's doing their line, would cut away from him and he'd get out his cue cards and read his next line.
It was a sort of like 1970s, 1980s equivalent of someone looking at their phone while you're talking to them.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you paying attention to this? 'Cause it looks like you're more interested in that cue card you got in your hand.
It wasn't much fun for my fellow actors. I regret that. But I was frustrated with my job. I craved more challenging work. I wanted Broadway.
Fair enough.
He gets a film.
Oh, wow.
Have you heard of Star Crash?
No.
I don't think you will have. It's an Italian rip-off of Star Wars.
I was going to say, yeah. So this is like, we're talking late 70s, early 80s. There were loads of movies that were like, well, that's big.
It's a 1979 movie.
Right.
He plays Prince Simon, who's the son and the heir to the Emperor of the Galaxy. I just hate films like this. The moment I hear the phrase the Emperor of the Galaxy, I just think, oh, fucking grow up.
Yeah.
The supreme galactic spectacle. Star Crash. You will be blasted through the blackness of 100 million nights into an incredible universe of fantastic sights and sounds beyond your wildest dreams. Star Crash, rated PG.
The heroine is called Stella Star, which I think then used as the name of a small band that I once saw. They were kind of...
Stella Star, yeah.
They were a band that were part of the kind of post-Strokes New York thing. And the reason I remember their gig is they came to nothing, but I saw them. They were supported by the Killers, and I saw there was about 15 people in the room.
Were you reviewing it for your local paper?
For your
student paper, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So Stella Star, who's former Bond girl Caroline Munro, in to quote David Hasselhoff, a spectacular leather bikini.
Okay. I'll take your word for that, David.
She has to rescue Simon from the clutches of Count Zarth Arn, evil leader of the League of Dark Worlds.
It's so Star Wars, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
And this guy's got a doom machine.
Give it 5 more minutes, guys.
Which projects red monsters into space to drive astronauts mad.
It projects what into space?
Red monsters to drive astronauts mad.
This is real 7 p.m. on a Friday writing, this, isn't it?
It's really bad, isn't it? So Hasselhoff says, we filmed these scenes in the Cinecittà studios in Rome in spray-painted star buggies on a plastic set surrounded by flashing neon lights and exploding papier-mâché planets. He says at one point, the director just wanted him to say the alphabet so that they could redub his dialogue.
So he's just there, just A, B, C, D. Has he got, because I know he's got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Has he got one for each of those? Like, A, you're going to do an amazing job today. B, because you belong here.
So even Hasselhoff's willing to admit that this is an absolute turkey, and it's released in 1979 to universal derision. And the problem is that was Hasselhoff's out. So he decides to make the ultimate move, and he leaves. Bear in mind, Tom Selleck, the superstar, was in The Young and the Restless for 2 seasons, and by this point has been cast as Magnum P.I.
Huge.
So David's appearance in Star Crash is a bit of a kick in the jaffers.
No. The other mustachioed heartthrob.
Yeah, exactly. So he's hoping that he's going to be the next Tom Selleck. Will he find it in another programme? And what will happen with his agent who wants to make him a star? We will cover that next time.
Can't wait.
That's it for part 1 of David Hasselhoff and the Fall of the Berlin Wall. And remember, you can listen to part 2 and all the episodes of this series right now by signing up to the Museum of Pop Culture fan club at museumofpopculture.supportingcast.fm.